Hey, hi, hello, and good afternoon. My name is Amanda, and welcome to Harmony Portal Tarot Live, everybody. Yes, it is the May Day. Happy May Day. And Bialtina, I never know if I'm saying that correctly, and I'm sure my Gaelic brethren are like, what did she just say? I know most people in the West just say Beltane because that's how it looks. But if I remember correctly, it was like Bialtina. Sorry. Let's just hope our Irish friends aren't here to point and laugh at their American Irish sister, right? Hello, everybody. But yes, it is the first day of May, and Bialtina is that like halfway point between spring and summer. So the spring equinox and the summer solstice. So we are getting there. We're getting there, and it's a very rainy, wet day out there where I'm at today. So that's always fun. Not so much when you've got baseball. We have baseball pictures for both boys tonight, a baseball game for Boston, and also the Airmen of Note, which is like in my son's band teacher's opinion, the best jazz band out there in the whole world. They're going to be here tonight. We have free tickets that we got through the school to go, so that's always fun. Yeah, I'm not even going to attempt that one, Brandy Lynn. Yep. Nope, not going to happen. Especially because a word like that probably does not pronounce how it sounds phonetically. It's probably not spelled phonetically. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much for the birthday wishes, everybody. Yeah. It was a good one. I was super tired though. Super tired coming off the heels of our family reunion. It was so much fun. But, usually with that counterbalance of all the fun, you have like the recovery period of getting back home and just being in your own energy. Because yes, high vibe cousin party reunion for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then came home Sunday. But then, even all that high vibe energy, it's like I need time to, cleanse my energy, get in my own energy, integrate. I've been like yesterday. Let's see. Yesterday was Tuesday. Never mind. No, yesterday was Tuesday. See, I'm already confused because I had to swap my writing schedule because I was so tired, had a huge headache. So I had to just recover on Monday, and I went back to bed when I got home from dropping the kids off, not directly after, but for about 2 hours between 10 and noon. I think I'm so tired. I just gotta. Oh, how is everybody? Yes, I hope you're all doing well as well. Yeah, you hope for a bit of luck this month, right? Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah. Last month was a little rough around the edges with Mercury being retrograde all month pretty much. And I know it went direct again on April 25th, but we're still in that shadow period right now, and I'm feeling it. It's ticking up. It's getting there slowly and steadily. But yeah, we went retrograde on April 1st. So happy April Fool's Days to everybody out there on April 1st with Mercury retrograde. And it was a very extra Mercury retrograde. Anyone else feel the same way? Not that anything too off the rails happened, but lots of, Mercury does deal with communications, short distance travel specifically. And I can't tell you how many times we forgot basketball shoes or this or that. And I'd have to run back up my hill, back down to the sports ball event, back up my hill, pick up this kid, go over here, go over there, like extra steps that I didn't account for. So very extra Mercury retrograde. And I wasn't here Friday because I was at the family reunion. So I figured today we'd do something fun. We kind of did this similar-esque on Wednesday last week, where I think it was Wednesday. Yes, Wednesday. See. But yes, I had the tea leaf oracles, and for the one card pull that we do for those, I said, do you want stack A or stack B? If I remember correctly, stack A was the turtle, stack B was lightning. That might have been reverse. But today we're going to do a similar thing, but instead of everybody getting a card and it taking us almost an hour like it did last time, because I just kept going. Today, we instead are going to be doing a pick a card style collective reading. So you can either pick one or the other or both obviously you can always resonate with both if you feel so inclined. So I'm going to catch up on comments, and then we're going to pull the cards for pile A and pile 1 and pile 2. Let's call them that. Yeah. 10 days. Last month was very uneasy for me. I felt uneasy inside. Yeah, detached, almost like midlife crisis. Yeah, that's, fun Dark Night of the Soul vibes going on. Combination of the Scorpio full moon and retrograde was so powerful that I lost weight from the energy alone. I'm predominantly ruled by Mercury. Oh my goodness, yeah. Virgo ascendant, Gemini moon. I'm currently in my Mercury Mahadasha per Vedic astrology, so it's been ruling the last 15 years of my life, I don't have a natal Mercury retrograde, but my Mercury is natally in the 8th house, no matter what way I swing it. If it's Vedic or Western or Hellenistic or Babylonian astrology, all those Mercuries are in the 8th house. So that's fun for me, But, I'm always wanting to know the deepest, darkest things I can know, and maybe even communicate about the deepest, darkest things I know. The occult is ruled by the 8th house. All sorts of crazy stuff is ruled by the 8th house. So, of course, I want to know it all and talk about it all. I will be doing that toward the end. The end may be 20 minutes from now. The end may be 3 hours from now. We never know. That's going to depend on if we have any donations. And lately, I want to say last week, we actually did have some donations, which was cool. It keeps the lights on in this room, energetically speaking, as far as the energy exchange. But yeah, there are days lately, that we are to our giveaway really quick because we don't have any donations come in. So, all right. Yeah, very tired here. Very tired. And it's not only just coming off the heels of the family reunion. I was already feeling it because it's just been go, go, go every day, every night. In fact, my work day is actually the slowest part of my day and almost feels like a reprieve. And then evenings, well, go pick the kids up from school, and then it's go, go, go. Hurry, get a quick dinner. Hurry, hustle one boy to this field, one boy to that field. And then the nights that they've got multiple sports going on, it's like 3-4 different times I'm going from point A to point B to point C, back over to point A, over to point D. If I don't write it down or have it in my phone, I would probably lose my mind. But this crazy busyness will only last, well, for Boston, I think this is his last weekend of basketball, which I love watching basketball, but my gosh, on top of just everything else going on, I can use a little bit of a break. That would free up our Friday nights. We won't have any sports on Friday, and I'm just like, I can't wait. And I know that sounds mean. This is our last Friday of basketball, so I can savor the fact that, yes, this is so fun, and I enjoy it, but at the same time, I'm glad it's over. I would rather have soccer over. I'm not the biggest fan of watching soccer. It's not very fun for me. Baseball, I enjoy. If it wasn't so cold, though, that's the kicker for me, is I don't like sitting there shivering. That's not fun for me. It was like 40, like late 30s, early 40 degrees at the game on Monday night. And it was so cold. I had to take Boston one direction, and Ryan had to coach Wrigley's team. Ryan's technically the coach for both of their teams, but he can't clone himself that we know of to be 2 places at once. So I had to go with Boston, and I guess Wrigley, who I didn't get to watch his game, my youngest son, like the whole team was just like, can I sit out? I want to sit with my mom with the blanket. Like, I'm so cold. Like, none of the kids wanted to play. It was just too cold. Yeah, it had hailed and it was almost like a snow, but like a rain hail mix right before the game started. And then the game started. And then on my end of town, we didn't get much rain, but on my husband's end of town, it was raining for a hot minute and then it stopped. If it had continued, they probably would have canceled the games or, stopped the games, but because it was over pretty quick. But then the wind, you're already kind of wet. And then that cold wind, it just gets right into your clothing, and it's just so cold. I had 3 layers of shirts and sweatshirts on, a hat, a big blanket, and I still felt like just freezing cold. So I'm looking forward, although looking in my weather app, it doesn't look too promising over at least the next 10 days as far as warmer weather. It's like 40s and 50s. Oh, actually, I just lied. We now have a 69 on the board, a couple of 60s thrown in. When I looked at it yesterday, it was like 45s to 50s for the next 10 days. So for some reason, we've bumped up in temperature, which I'm glad about. I'll take it. I'll take a warmer temperature. Even if it's still on the cooler side, I'll take it. It's better than sitting out there, you know, a few degrees above freezing, just watching baseball, shivering. All right. Anywho, I've talked a long time about my sports stuff. So let's get into pick a cards. So for pile 1, pick a card, pick a card. Ooh, and I'm shuffling upside down. Look at me go. So see the light, be the light. So this, you know, I picked it up in reverse. So see the light, be the light. But we can turn that frown upside down, right? And you can kind of look at, and this is the Soul Trees deck. So you can kind of look at that one. So there we are with pile A, or pile 1, pile 1. Pile 2, the card is, and we're shuffling upright that I know of here. Pile 2 is, drumroll please, Ascension. Ooh, beautiful. I love it. Okay, so we're going to, of course, start with pile 1, but pile 2. So pile 1, pile 2. And if you want both, that's cool too, but just whichever one you're most drawn to, or if you're drawn to both, that's fine. Whichever one you want, pile 1, pile 2. Okay, starting with pile 1, we're starting with the see the light, be the light card. But again, it started out in reverse, and it almost looks like an Ace of Cups, or like a cup. So, you know, with it in reverse, some of you might be feeling that are selecting pile 1, that just, you're drained, you're looking for that life force to revitalize, or it's time to turn the frown upside down and then refill the cup, refill the well, let the creative juices get flowing again before you feel like you have to overgive or overextend yourself to a lot more people. So for some of you, this can look like self-care practices, whatever self-care looks like for you personally. This can also look like you know, just literal rest, relaxation, not doing anything, like just vegging out or sleeping. That's so good for us to do from time to time. So let's see, what tarot deck are we going for today? Well, the one I really wanted to use, I think I left downstairs. Yeah, oh well, that's okay. Here we go, pile A, pile A. What else do they need to know? And we have, well, I'm not shuffling upside down, so it's just like an upside down thing. Okay, again, so 3 of Wands upright is about taking action. Well, when it's in reverse, it's about, you know, let's not proceed quite yet. So there might be something that you should be doing or feel like you have to be doing, but like, do you really need to be doing it? Really think about, you know, the things that you feel like almost forced to do, or you have to do them. Do you really have to do them? Because it's almost like the time isn't quite right yet on certain things. And we've got some really beautiful 3 of Wands here, blossoming and blooming here on the edges. So very soon you will get into this time or phase where you will be able to finally take action, but there's some ripening or some blossoming that's coming up first, and then you're going to be able to really step into some action-oriented stuff. All right, let's get one more tarot card, and then we're going to go to the shamanic medicine cards. Okay, yeah. Again, light at the end of the tunnel is very close. You're going to be able to get going soon. And for some of you, it's almost like you're going to have this burst of energy. Of course, we started out in reverse. This burst of energy to finally push forward and be able to make some things happen for yourself. Whereas things before just felt like you were either spinning your wheels or putting in all this effort, but nothing was really coming back. Or if you've just been sick or lethargic or down or bored or blah or whatever, things are finally picking up and looking good. So wherever you fall on that spectrum, things are going to start looking up. And let's just get one bit of additional guidance from the shamanic medicine cards. Anything else pile 1 needs to know? We have here purpose with sacred sight. And I know it's sight meaning like location, but sight, S-I-G-H-T, also came to mind. Very third eye, like sacred sight, S-I-G-H-T, right? So some of you might even be wanting to go to some place that feels sacred. It doesn't have to literally be sacred, but it feels like your happy place or your sacred place. But again, for some of you, that sacred or happy place is to retreat. It is to go into your own cave, your own room, your own bathtub, your own private happy spot in nature where you can just vibe and recover and rejuvenate and relax, all the rewords, because we have been in this kind of retrograded motion. Yes, now it's about time. I mean, this is very fitting for the current energy of it's not quite time to move full force ahead on any Mercury related things like communication and travel and all that. Although, if you are doing these things and having to do these things, you're still making progress, but it just may not be the progress you were hoping to make in the amount of time you've allotted for yourself. I can totally attest to that. I just want to dive right back into my writing, but again, at the same time, I'm tired. I'm hungry. I've got all this other stuff going on, and my house feels like a bomb went off because I had 3 boys home those 4 days I was gone, and they're not the cleanest people. Let's just be honest. So, there was lots of laundry to catch up on, dishes, and just general messes. And the dogs got into this stack of tennis balls, and it's fine to have the tennis balls. But then they tore the package up all over the backyard, and there's some other garbage back there. I'm just like, I got so much to do. So it really is about, yes, even if you have this mounting to-do list, realizing that if you're, barely have any in your cup, right? You have barely anything in your cup and you're trying to accomplish anything, it's not going to work as easily as if you allow yourself the proper time to step back, rest, rejuvenate, recuperate, all the rewords, and then get to work. Although I know, especially my, people who work out there and moms, we can't just completely hard stop on things. We may have to just take pockets of time throughout our day, or even a 5-10 minute break here or there to just rejuvenate, rest, recuperate, or just set that intention to bring more of your true spirit in to help you through these times. All right, so pile B, or sorry, pile two. Get all these ones put back. And if you're just joining us and you're unsure what the format of today's reading is, so we just finished pile 1, and now we're moving on to pile 2 with the Ascension Soul Trees card here. So those who selected pile 2, what do they need to know? All right, so we've already got some upside down cards in here. So obviously at one point I turned the deck when I shuffled, so that happens from time to time, and that's okay. All right, so what does pile 2 need to know, especially about this Ascension card that they used to select their pile? It's been so long since I've actually done a pick a card. It feels kind of fun to do. I love it. All right, what do they need to know about this Ascension? Ooh, Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so again, similar to what we got in pile A. So I have a feeling a few of you that are pile 1. Few of you that's like a pile 1 are over here from pile 1, which is cool. But we have here the Knight of Pentacles, which is about kind of a slow and steady progression. There's no need to knock it out of the park overnight. Although that being said, some of you might be, with this Ascension card, getting these random bursts of spiritual energy coming through to fuel you when you are in a flow state, or you can achieve this almost flow state with some of your days, but then maybe the next 3 days you need to take a break or step back or just do less because it can be a lot. It can be intense. Even when we're in the flow, even when we're high vibe and we're having fun and we're accomplishing things, there's always that counterbalance of rest, recuperation, rejuvenation. And sometimes if you're somebody who just kind of does a little here, does a little there, you start to notice over time that really starts to add up. Or if you're more like me, where you are in the zone for 18 hours straight, and then you need 3 days off. But you get so much accomplished in that 18 hours that the 3 days off ain't no thing. So wherever you kind of have your happy place, whether it is to just really go all in and just go until you can't, or if you just want to do a little bit, set aside a little bit of time every day, but do what's best, especially on your spiritual path or concerning your spiritual life. You don't have to have all the answers or know everything about even what your spirit wants for you or anything like that. It's just about showing up and doing what you can when you can. All right, what else does pile 2 need to know? Pile 2. We have here the 3 of Cups. So there's something coming up you're going to be celebrating or having a gathering, a get-together. And this is with like-minded people or people that feel really close to you. My recent example, I just was at a family reunion, and it really did make me feel like, I mean, these cups here are overflowing. Yes, my cup felt overflowing, but yet at the same time, I needed to refill my physical well. Emotionally, spiritually, mentally, I was great. I was good, but I was just physically tired from hugging all those people and being in public when I'm just used to being at home, or if I am out in public a lot, it's outside for baseball or outside for soccer, or kind of in my own little cozy nook at the top of the bleachers for basketball. I don't spend a lot of time intermingling with people who aren't my vibe, or that kind of thing. I'll be cordial and I'll be nice, but I do kind of like find my people within a crowd, like with school functions and whatnot. So this might just be you finding your people at a function here, a function there, or if you're doing this on Zoom or something, or online, you're really vibing. You're finding a way to vibe with your tribe. All right, what else do we need to know for pile 2? And we have here the star. So there's literally seriously something to celebrate, you guys. And for many of you, I mean, this is a very spiritual star card here. Let me get that. Yeah, there we are. Very spiritual energy here with this ascension message. So there's some really like big up levels to your spiritual life that you're going to feel like celebrating. Even if it's just with you, yourself, and you, me, myself, and I, or just like, your partner or your friends, or it doesn't have to be this big over the top celebration. This can just be you just kind of quietly celebrating with those that really vibe with you. It doesn't have to be over the top. It doesn't have to be fancy, or you have to spend a lot of money to do it. You can just do this in the comfort of your home and just do a happy dance. I mean, you don't even have to spend money to celebrate this, but it's a big win. It's a big win for you, and you're so excited. I got chills now on my like upper arm shoulder area, which I don't know that I've ever simultaneously got chills in that direction. But what it feels like to me energetically is someone who really means a lot to you and you mean a lot to them coming up behind you and kind of squeezing your upper arms like, you did it, good job, I'm so proud of you, kind of like almost like a hug from spirit for so many of you. Wow, you have it too. What is it? So cool. All right, let's get 2 shamanic medicine cards for pile 2. And we do have 2 donations that have rolled in, so thank you guys. And we have Lodge with Council. Again, very 3 of Cups vibes. And I'm still feeling it, and now I'm getting it on the crown. So interesting message here. Lots of yellow. So this is like solar plexus energy here. Just about embodying more of your spirit. And when my spirit really fills me up, or I fill up my spirit, I don't know. Because I almost see the spirit just energetically. It's not like the spirit is contained within my human field, like my human body. It's more like my body is within my spirit. Because like spirit is so big. Can it really be contained? I don't know that it can. So it's almost like you're being wrapped in this big spirit hug from your own spirit. It's really what it feels like. But for some of you, for me specifically, like I always feel that just expansion, almost tickle in like the solar plexus area when I tune into and bring in more of my spirit. So if you're doing a lot of intentional bringing your spirit in to assist you, to help you, to protect you, to guide you, you may be feeling a lot of that energy and activity in your solar plexus. There could even be, I know this is a very positive message, but I'm going to be the want real quick. You may even be having some like stomach upset or something, but this is nothing to be too concerned about. This is like a cleansing, a clearing, a purging of old energy. There you go. Oh, on your shoulder. Oh, interesting. All right, last message for pile 2. Last message for pile 2. Oh, you have been feeling that purge. To me, it feels more upper digestive rather than lower digestive, but hey, it's all connected, right? So take what resonates. But yes, this is exactly why. This is exactly what, Rattle. You're dispersing that just toxicity, negativity, just old, burdensome, worrisome type of energy that's ready to be released. And this for you, pile 2, really, I got chills again. It really does feel like ancestors coming in to help. I had a massive, like, I have no words kind of moment. That happened at the family reunion that makes so much sense for the females in my family line. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it here because it's a little personal to like my extended up the ancestral line. Maybe someday I'll talk about it, but it's still very raw and real and new and informationally, but yet it's like I've always known. But like, anywho, it's almost like getting missing pieces of the puzzle, or puzzle pieces that you didn't even realize were missing, or just certain dots that wouldn't quite connect looking up or down the family line, or with just things in your own life. You're starting to kind of put those pieces, or dots are finally joining, and it feels like, wow, okay, now I can heal from this and move forward. I don't have to be like spinning my wheels because I don't know where the source of this trauma, this pain, this wounding came from. And then when you know, you know. And even just having the awareness of something, even if the way you get the information is kind of like woo woo or out there, it's gonna help shake loose that old trauma, wounding baggage that maybe wasn't even yours to begin with. But of course, ancestrally, we carry the wounds and traumas of our ancestors until those can be healed. And when they can't heal it, just like any debt, when you owe a lot of debts and you pass away, those are passed to your, down the line. Same with trauma. It's the same exact way. It's like a traumatic debt that, maybe multiple generations back, or original wounding that happened like at the creation of whatever it is that we've become in these human bodies. It's just passed down until someone has the courage to face it. And in fact, it's not that it's not personally ours, because in ways, because that wound is there, I got chills again. In ways, because that wound is there, we will start to draw or attract like experiences to this original wound, you see. And it may not be exactly, and it may look completely different, but it's like the vibration of trauma can be very similar to other trauma. And then we'll, and a lot of times it does feel, and yes, I know we're in a matrix and all that fun jazz, but it's almost like these traumatic experiences can actually act to help catapult us forward by pointing out what needs healed. All these traumas we have coming in, I don't think it's just random. I really don't. So we can actually use them, these problems, these obstacles, these traumas, as opportunities for growth. Even though we may not have been, deserving of this trauma or that wound or what have you, but it may not be that we, we're responsible for it happening, but we are responsible for healing it so that our future generations and just humanity as a whole doesn't have to bear that burden anymore. Because once the burden's dealt with, it's gone. All right, so we went a little long on pile 2, but I think we needed just a little extra something there. Oh, the rattle has a snake on it, and then realized a programming of repeating negative thoughts again and again, and removed it, but it keeps coming back again. Yes, that's much like I just call it my helmet of pain. It's like a metal, it almost looks like, I can't remember the name. It was like a horror type movie from the 90s, and this person had like, not Hellraiser, with all the needles in the head, but it was like some sort of like metal contraption. And I don't know if it was a horror movie or some other movie, and I'm just kind of splicing it together because it looks like a horror show in my head. But there was it was almost like an umbrella-looking helmet thing there was no actual fabric of an umbrella. It was just like the metallic or metal structure of almost umbrella-looking. Does anyone know am I just completely off my rocker? Like, I've seen a picture or a movie poster or something with that on it. I don't know. But that's almost what I envision is on my head when I start feeling this pain. I can energetically feel it's almost like this metallic, like energetic helmet, like a cage. Yeah, like a cage. But like, what was that? I can't, no words are coming to my awareness. So I don't know. But it was weird because as I was describing it, I'm like, Hellraiser with all the like, and I've never even seen the Hellraiser movies. I think there's like at least 3 or 4 of those. Total Recall. Oh, was a jackal. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I don't know for sure. But yeah, like even Hellraiser, it's almost like acupuncture, like all over, but like energetically it feels much darker than something as beneficial as acupuncture. I don't know. It might have been something. I mean, Edward Scissorhands, I've seen that movie a lot of times. Unless when he was still with the guy that created him or whatever, if he had something on him to like, not Silence of the Lambs. I've seen that one a lot too. Movie 13 Ghosts. Ooh, let me look it up. Yeah, you guys are giving some great suggestions here to look up 13 Ghosts. Let's see. 13 Let me just search some keywords here. Not quite like that. Not quite like that. But yeah, it looked almost like a. I mean, it's similar-ish how this 13 goes. Like I've never seen this, so I don't know for sure. This wasn't quite what I was getting. I just heard the Lawnmower Man. What the heck? What's that? I remember hearing about that movie, but that doesn't sound like that would be what I'm going for or what I'm looking for. But it is interesting how he's like it's more symbolic of a kind of cage around his head. Interesting. I remember that movie from the 90s, but I don't even know if I saw it. Because our video store would always have like the posters. So I might have seen it. Like that's what I feel like I've seen this on a poster, like not in an actual movie. But that's not quite what I'm looking for either. I don't know. Not that it matters, but for some reason I just want to find it. No, that's definitely not it. How weird though. It's like this is like a monkey with it on. Oh, interesting. But he's got it like over his eyes, over his head, completely over his head. I don't know if we can even see that, but almost reminds me of the VR headsets we have nowadays, which are basically another layer of the Matrix, you know. I don't know. It doesn't really matter, but there it is. All right, so we've got a few donations. So first off, is Brianna. Oh, belated born day. Thank you. So she wants me to channel a specific message for her that will serve her highest good. Okay, awesome. And then we had one more donation coming in also from, and these are both one cards, from Michelle. Hello, Michelle. Hello. And I got to do what I did last time so I can stay on track. I'm going to set my timer here for 3 minutes. See if I can do this. I'm sure I can. Okay. So going back to Brianna's question before I start the timer. So specific message for her that will serve her highest self. Yes. Okay, here we go. For Brianna. Oh, and I'm getting a text from Amber. Oh, interesting. Yeah. And that's kind of scary, isn't it? It's just scary. But like, why all the movies with the symbolism with that stuff going on around the head, you know? All right, yes, we're getting into it. Tuning into Brianna's lovely spiritual energy. Message from her true spirit coming through. Knight of Swords, you're finally moving forward on something. And you're maybe getting some communication that you're ready to act on really quickly. You're not waiting around. You're going to be able to just jump into action very soon. Yes, literally on the move, on the go. I don't know if you have some sort of trip or retreat or something planned. If you don't, this might be a great time. This person is in like a full gallop here. And in the chariot, normally we have, the horse, 2 horses and, or some sort of vehicle transport. But in this, it's almost like this is very, Sagittarius vibes, which would be more like astral travel or traveling through learning knowledge in some way. Like, I mean, it could be literal or it could be more of a like shamanic journey or an astral travel or something like this that you're accomplishing, or you're setting your sights on something and you're going for it in a spiritual way. But let's see what this could be for Brianna, for her highest self. Vibration. Wow. Yeah. So it's a vibrational travel. So yeah, it's like you're mind traveling, astral traveling, spirit traveling in some way. And how is this benefiting Brianna? How is this benefiting her? How is this in her highest good? Has to do with your judgment. I'm getting a very tarot judgment vibe from this, which is a very spiritual up-leveling kind of message. So holy cow. But it's also helping you with your judgment, meaning, do I go this way? Do I go that way? Or are neither of these avenues in my highest alignment? So you're going to really be able to tune into your intuition like crazy. Any sign, symbol, synchronicity she can look out for to know she's on the right path. Lizard, Tuatara, dreaming, sight, knowledge, and hidden gifts. So you're going to be seeing it clairvoyantly, but also with your dreams. With the dreaming here, you're going to be having dreams. I've got chills, major chills. We have the bee here, creativity, purpose, harvest, and devotion. And there's a card behind it as well, and elephant. So these three, lizard, bee, and elephant. The numbers 16, which is the tower card number on that elephant. 18, can't remember which one's the 18. No, I know. The moon. I do believe it's the moon card. Oh, there's our timer. We did it. Okay. And then the number 31 on the bee, but 3 + 1 is 4, about creating stability and security in a creative, purposeful way that's going to lead to a later harvest and you to feel very devoted to your group or to your project, whatever it is. Wow. Lots of good stuff coming through. In 3 minutes, nonetheless. Look at that. It's spot on. Yay. Oh, that was Total Recall. I'll share a picture with you what I was talking about. Okay, gotcha. And it's weird. I haven't seen any of these movies we're talking about. So weird. Maybe by choice, just something about it. I just never was drawn to any of those movies. And back in the day, I was a big horror movie girl. But my sister and brother and I, we'd rent them. I mean, I'm talking 8, 9 years old. I was probably 6 years old when I watched Children of the Corn. And to this day, it gave me just absolute nightmares as a little kid. And I, to this day, haven't watched it as an adult. I probably should and probably realize this isn't even scary. What was the big deal? But, I was a little kid. That's why. But yeah, we'd rent the Friday the 13th movies and the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. And then we'd just laugh because it was so cheesy and over the top. I can't remember which Friday the 13th movie it was, but it was this mother and son duo, and they were all rednecky and weird, right? And the guy's just rolling all over the place on his motorcycle. And Jason just holds the chainsaw out and takes his head off. Because back then VHS, you had to rewind. We would rewind it and play it over and over and laugh so hard. Because it was just so cheesy. There's no way this was even remotely real. But as an adult, I watch stuff like that. I'm just skeeved out. I don't know what it was about being a kid that I thought it was hilarious. But as an adult, I'm just ew, why? Why would I put my downtime, my rest time into watching this crap? Why? Ooh. Getting really low. Really low ringing in this ear. Yeah. And even good movies that are the movie coming to mind is Forrest Gump. There's a lot of really touching moments in that movie, but there's also a lot of sadness and bullying and violence and just, why won't that go away? Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. It's one thing to get the high pitch ringing in your ears, but when it's all low pitchy and doesn't go away, I hate that. Oh, yuck. Probably because we're tuning into the energy of these dark movies. I mean, in some way, energetically, they're showing us what's going on in this realm all the time. I mean, this is a R word, A-P-E, and M word, unaliving realm. I mean, that is what this realm exists on. Both. Oh, I must have restarted my. Stop. Let's stop that. Even out in nature, it's a R word and unaliving. God, I hate that I have to talk in code, but I hope you guys know what I'm saying. Dog eat dog world, literally. Dog R word dog world, and then dog eat dog world. That's not divine. That's not divine. Yeah. Yeah, right. Movies that make you upset. And yeah, the older and wiser I get, the less I want to spend my life force energy consuming things like this. Though don't get me wrong, I will see just something on my homepage. I try to, when I load YouTube, because it always just puts you right on your homepage in the app, if you weren't recently on it, or if you've closed your apps out. So I try to almost close my eyes and click the bottom, the second from the right on the bottom to get right to my subscription feed, so I don't have to be suggested anything, because curiosity gets me every time if I see something even remotely interesting, which, your algorithm starts to learn you very well. So they'll put the most enticing, juicy, suggestions up at the top of your homepage. That's why I kind of liked it back in the day when my kids would take my phone and try to watch like Roblox and Minecraft videos and stuff like that. So they'd suggest a lot of that stuff. Um, and I just they've got their own screen to do that now, and which I don't like. And we're really going in on the summer. I'm gonna see if you guys want to join me. I mean, obviously, if you're taking a step back from screen time, you may be taking a step back from me, but that's okay. Because not all summer, I'm gonna try a month and just see how it is. Because since university years, have not had more than a month off the internet. And I'm not talking like me, I will still be on my live streams twice a week, but that will be my internet time. I'm not allowing myself to go on social media, not allowing myself to scroll anywhere, including YouTube. It's going to be difficult, but I need to. So many of us are just, it's like breathing. We just automatically go, we want to know something, we just go Google it. Like you've seen me multiple times on live streams. I mean, even just recently with the helmet thing, like just trying to Google and find the answer. And I don't want to be that way. I want to be able to sit with the curiosity of something without having to know right now. Because even if we find out the answer right now, is it really the right answer if Google's the one giving it to us? So I want to kind of ease my dependence on screen and just having that smartphone at my disposal. I didn't realize how bad it was, even until a couple weeks ago, when just trying to think about things, and every other thing I'm thinking about, I'm like, ooh, let me see, who was that lady married to again? Oh, what year was she born? Like things that I don't personally really technically need to know to live a fulfilling life. Like, who cares? Why do I care so much? So I want to kind of take back my creative power, my thinking power, my just that need to have all the answers all the time. I want to take back control of that and be okay with the unknown. I do. But yeah, I'm thinking for both my boys will get 1 hour of screen time a day during the summer, which sounds like a lot. When I was a kid, that'd be perfect. Just enough. Be it watching cartoons or MTV, in the summer when you're like a preteen, or, playing Nintendo. Like, I just wanted to be outside as a kid. My kids like being outside when they're out there, but just they would rather, probably if they had their choice, play screens. And I don't want that to be the case. So there's a new sheriff in town. We're changing our ways, and we got to lead by example, right? Mom's got to also follow through and not be on her screen when she's telling the kids they can't be on theirs, right? Maybe once a week we'll allow for like a family movie night or something. But yeah, I want to just step back, bring back the hobbies, the drawing, the fun times without having to have a screen. All right, Michelle. And she has her question posted. We're going to start our timer. Actually, let me read the question first. Can I please ask what this month of May has in store for me, and what should I prepare for? Yes, let's find out for Michelle. Let me go back to my timer and start what the month of May has in store for Michelle. Tuning into Michelle's true spirit. What does the month of May have in store for Michelle? Ooh. We have 3 things coming in hot. Lots of wands. There is some really amazing, like, forward momentum action coming in. Some changes around the home. We've got some plans that will then reflect into changes. But look, we've got a 2-4-6 situation. Let's see. 2-4-6. So it's like leapfrogging, skipping steps, not having to just go so linear, but you can just like almost like quantum leap yourself to the next thing. So you might start the month out making some plans, and though they may change, they're going to lead to happiness. At the heart of this card, it's about happiness. It's about celebration. It's about abundance, signing a contract. And for you, I know you've been on that car search. It could be that you're finding the one, you put in a lot of this planning. Take that leap, and that will lead to victory. This is usually a transient victory, meaning, you're just through this battle, and the traditional Rider-Waite depiction of this card, the guy's on the horse, coming back into town after winning the battle, waving at everybody, and he's getting that recognition and the accolades that are due to him because he's been through some stuff. So after a battle, you finally get your accolades, you get your recognition, you get your reward, you get to celebrate. Specifically this combination, very celebratory situation. So I don't know if there is some sort of anniversary, birthday, fun thing that you're doing with friends or family, or just celebrating your own accomplishments. If you don't have any plans for anything like that yet, make some plans, make some plans. And even if they don't go according to plan, there's still some really good stuff coming in as a result of the plans you're making. What else can Michelle expect this month? What is in store for her? What should she prepare for? I love it. We have the staff with foundation, yet another wand. So it's like the Ace of Wands here. Look at all this wand energy. Like, it's very passionate, very inspired, very, I'm taking all the action this month kind of vibe. So again, though, with all this skipping steps, leapfrogging here and there, you want to balance a lot of this out with some rest, recuperation, rejuvenation, and then making further plans. Because I keep hearing not everything's going to go according to plan, but it's not like it's a big deal, or it's not like it throws a huge wrench and your whole month is, misaligned or anything like that. It's actually helping things fall into place in a much better way, especially if you don't really have any big plans moving into the month of May. Now would be a great time early in the month to make some plans. Again, even if they shift, even if they change, you're feeling pretty in control of the situation. So what else does Michelle need to know before we close out? We have duality and instinct. All right, we did it just in time. So duality, again, we've got to, put all that energy forward. Then we got to balance that out with rest. Two sides of the coin. And we also have instincts. So trusting your instincts. And this is about not allowing your mind to get involved. It is a very, just very purely instinctual or almost just intuitive energy you have with all this wand energy here. And I just dropped this one. So you're going to maybe drop the ball a bit on a foundation you're trying to lay for yourself, but you're going to be able to easily scoop it back up or make a plan that's actually going to benefit you even better than the one you had originally. So I hope that resonated for you, Michelle. But yeah, you might be getting that car. You might be signing a contract. Just could be taking a major leap forward in ways that you felt held back or stifled before. But you're like, no, we're doing it. Now's the time. Let's do it. So very exciting stuff. All right. Okay. And then next, I saw we have 2 more donations. You're most welcome, Michelle. Always a pleasure to read for you. So next we have Jay McDonald. Welcome, welcome. So just let me know that you're here. I think I might have seen you earlier. I was on one of my soapboxes, so I didn't say hi to you. So hi. Hi. I could have sworn I saw your little profile pic. There, she said hi. Hi. And Marlene, hi. I haven't seen Linda H yet, have I? No, Linda H. Linda, are you still here? I meant to say this at the beginning. Let me know you're here, Linda. We actually redrew. Brandy Lynn won the giveaway. She won the giveaway, and she told me to draw a new name because she wanted to donate it to somebody. So I drew a name out of the pouch, and Linda's name came out. So Linda, you have a free 1 card or smaller read here for you. There you are. All right. Jay McDonald is here. She has donated for 2 questions, 2 full questions. So we're going to set our timer for the first question. Let's read it first. So is someone watching me, and is it good or bad? Ooh, let's tune in. So we're going to double the timer here, double the time, and start. So let's establish if someone is watching you. Very interesting. We have the 4 swords on the back, so she's sleeping. But it's almost like she can sense there's something energetic around. But let's just see for sure what's going on. Is someone watching Jay McDonald? Tuning into the true spirit. Queen of Cups. It's a feminine energy. It does feel very like energetic or beyond the veil. It's not like an actual live person's like wiretap your phone or is peeping in your windows or anything like that. It does feel very spiritual, spirit, but it is maybe causing you a bit of anxiety or stress. Like, I can feel something watching me or like around, but like, what is it? What is it? Oh, interesting. I'm really zooming in on the mirror here, focusing in on the mirror. So if you are concerned about being watched while you're sleeping or just while you're, you should be alone, but you don't feel alone, sometimes covering your mirrors are portals to the other side, no matter how big or small. A mirror can even be like your phone screen. Because look here, let's just close that. I mean, you could see a reflection of what's going on outside. It is a mirror. Look at that. There's trees out there. You can tell those are trees, hopefully. And the little crank on my window right there. So this is a mirror as well. And a lot of times, when we're feeling, I guess for lack of a better word, and I'm not saying you are paranoid, but, we start feeling paranoid or like feel like something's watching us. Very much so with our phone. It's always listening. It's always watching. It's spying. It's all these appliances nowadays. Smart appliances have cameras in them, and even cameras. I watched this thing. Oh, this was so long ago now. At least 3-4 years ago. I know that's not that long ago, but how even not smart appliances still have capacities to spy on you somehow. Scary stuff that you just would not expect. But I'm getting more that this, yes, it could definitely be that because that's happening for pretty much everybody. But this does feel very much like spirit. And there's probably more than one because we have Queen and King. So Queen of Cups, King of Swords. One does feel like a parent. I don't know if you have a parent that's crossed over. It doesn't necessarily have to be, but someone that felt like a parent. So it could even be a grandparent or an aunt, uncle, someone who you look up as a parent or look up to as a parent. And they're watching you. Look, I got my eye on you right here. This little eyeball on the gavel. But again, it's not a nefarious thing. It feels very just, I'm checking up. I'm making sure you're safe. You're protected kind of thing. Anything else that needs to come through? Page of Cups and the Fool. Oh, interesting. So I don't know if there was a miscarriage in the family at any point, whether that was you or any grandkids or, nieces, nephews, something like this. There's someone who had lost a child, maybe even early enough on that it was like a twin energy here. So if someone did have a baby, maybe that baby had started as twins kind of vibe. But that energy of the spirit of that child is very close to your family, watching, protecting, very protective energy. It feels very feminine to me as well. Yeah, like a father figure as well, like a parental type guardian father figure also watching out. Or let's just see though if there is any reason for this stress or anxiety of feeling watched. Is there any reason to feel stress or anxiety about being watched for Jay McDonald? Yeah, 5 of Swords. Okay, so again, much like we were talking about being spied on. So this does feel like energetic entity, AI type stuff, which again, really, you can't point out any one person in this world that isn't under like surveillance energetically and like through AI and stuff. It's just part of the matrix. And especially if you are someone with a spirit that comes outside this matrix, it's almost like there's this like special beacon on you already, kind of like the head here, the halo, like a beacon that's in your energy field that acts as like, okay, we see one of those over there. We got to keep her distracted. We got to keep her scared because if she wakes up to her true abilities, we're all in trouble now. That's what it feels like to me. Not that you're under actual attack or anything like that, but you can just sense, if you are just, an example I gave the other couple weeks ago, I mean, it happened over a month plus ago. I'm just walking in my kitchen, which is something I do. I have a decently sized kitchen, so it's not like this tiny little circle I'm doing like a circle to get my steps in. And both my dogs were outside. It was like dusk, getting darker, and my husband and boys were out at my in-laws' house. And I just was overcome with this absolute terror feeling that someone was watching me I was kind of more toward my back door of my house from like the front of the house, the front door of my house. And I was just so scared. As I made my loop back through the kitchen, I went out the door and got my dogs and like went outside for me. I'm like, my heart rate was just racing. And I'm like, there was something really dark in my house. And of course, after that, I brought the dogs in and got right to work with my, cleansing, clearing. But by the time I came back in the house, I didn't sense that energy anymore. But I don't think in my adult life outside of, uh, just certain little quick moments with the kids, you think they're gonna be much more hurt than they are. Like, when Wrigley fell off the trampoline, and I'm like, "Here we go. That's it. He's got a broken bone or something." I'm not talking about those moments in life, but just as an adult, I can't remember being any more terrified, um, than I was when I sensed that, and it was just random because I was walking in circles listening to an audiobook. Just it was an Emily Henry book. I don't know if you know who she is. Not at all scary. She's like a rom-com writer kind of thing, like a chick lit writer, right? Um, yeah, and that's what I feel is this darkness might have just been wandering and found your light, Jay McDonald, and yeah. But again, if you ever just feel randomly uneasy or terrified, know that that's legit, and you don't have to say, "Oh, I'm just." It's probably because of that scary movie I watched the other day, or that one news story I heard about that's scaring me now, or whatever. I mean, it could be obviously because when I was watching, and again, this was a couple years back, I was watching that Night Stalker documentary on Netflix, and every night that I'd go let my other, not the dogs I have now because they're puppies, but the dogs I had at the time were elderly and they need to go out and stuff in the night, and I'd get up in the night to let them out, and as I was closing my back door, I'm like, I have to hurry. Like, I just get this overwhelming sense of fear. Like, I could see Richard Ramirez walking up my back porch and trying to get to the door and get it before I locked it. And that's not just me having an overactive imagination. That's how entities get in. And then they feed off that terror energy that you emit while you're hurrying up to lock your door because you think Richard Ramirez is coming to get you like a boogeyman in the night. But this is why, as children, we're so terrified. They will play up on our fears when we're children. I mean, usually when we're adults, we can outgrow some of those major terrors, but not always. Not always. There can be just something we watch, and with that Cecil Hotel, and them talking about that as well. There's just a darkness that you don't even have to go to the physical place or location, that you'll sense it when you watch something about it, or a lot of people watch these like true crime documentaries and stuff. So like the energy surrounding the people involved, it's like that energy can tune into you because you're paying attention energetically. Where your attention is flowing, your energy is going and allowing, or no one would sign up and say, yes, I'm going to watch this documentary and I'm going to allow whatever nefarious things are working through the energies of what created this to infiltrate me. No one's going to sign up for that. But on a subconscious level, we are signing up every time we, go through our Netflix feed and like, oh, this looks creepy. Let's watch this. That's us giving our permission. We don't always know exactly what we're giving permission for. So just saying all that we've said, if you are getting a lot of just craziness and you're watching things that, keep you up at night, let's just say, maybe just clear your energy from anything that could have, like energy darts are a really big thing that come in when we consume content. Energy darts and hooks, cords. We can get all of this just by, being interested in something. It's that curiosity will get us every time. But if you're not really watching any of that or consuming any of that, it could just be entities in the field that you can clear out. And even just setting the intention and saying out loud is more powerful. You can say it in your head if there are people around and you just feel weird about saying it out loud. But if you can say it out loud and say it 3 times, that's super powerful because you will ground that vibration. I mean, just feel your throat. When you talk, you can feel the vibration of it moving behind your fingers, right? So there's a power in your voice. So just speaking out. And if it's someone in your energy field, that protective energy of family or something, that you want to actually get the message they're trying to tell you, you can actually even amplify those types of messages. But of course, always set the intention that you're only connecting with true spirit, and you do not intend to connect with any false light entities wearing, the mask of a loved one or anything like that. Because it's happened to me. It's happened to a lot of us out there. A lot of spirit guides, Jesus. These tricksters will pose as different spirit guides, or your crossed over loved one, or Jesus, or whoever your god or goddess of choice is, and will trick you, and then they will start to lead you down crazy paths. It can happen. All right. So, second question: So, any more insight into my dream last night? I might have to leave before you get to my question, but I will be back as soon as I can listen to it. Please timestamp if possible. Yes. And I know you were still here at the beginning of that, but I'm just going to be sure, put a timestamp 59:47. J. McDonald. Yes. And of course, the question before that would be scroll back a little bit. Okay. Here we go. Oh, and then I'll set my timer here. So, any more insight into the dream she had last night? Okay. All right. So, timer. Okay. Of course, I don't know exactly what your dream was, but the cards can get the essence of how it made you feel, or maybe even some symbolism of what was going on in the dream. But let's just see what that dream specifically was trying to tell you. Maybe not so much exactly what the dream was about, since you already know that. You know that. So what was this dream trying to tell you or point out? Or what was the purpose of this? Okay, wow. So spirit was working through the dream. This very protective energy was somehow involved in this dream. Even if you didn't see any specific person or what have you, it's like they were somehow in communication with you in this dream. So let's see any insight into this dream. J. McDonald, the sun. Wow, it's like a spirit body here, like a light body. But this really does feel like, even if you felt disheartened or, uneasy in the dream, there's this element of you shining your light. And we were just talking about, it being attracted to your light, these entities and what have you. But look, this is about glowing. It's about being center stage, or, we got a spotlight on this person here, but then this person's just completely made of light. So it's about allowing yourself to shine your light or to step into your true power, especially if at any point during the dream you felt powerless, or like you had to scramble, or things were difficult in any way. But if things were beautiful in the dream, just know that there's a lot of beauty that you are tapping into from your own spirit as you are in this dream state. But there's, we interpret dreams through a human lens. So, we may have dreams that are like almost like written in code or something, just completely outside the realm of our five senses or even our sixth sense and all that we kind of, to be able to interpret it in our human way, it's like we, just, it's very interesting because I just got a text. But interpreting it in our human way, we have to use the sign symbols and stuff that we know in a human way. But there's never any accidents. When someone texts me during a live stream, there's always a relevance to what I'm reading about. My husband just said, I submitted his intent to return documents. So they sent out these, because they've really cut budget on a lot of the school, like a lot of that COVID money that the schools got during, or these different grants and stuff that the schools around here got during COVID are gone now. And so all that extra staff and the extra stuff that they had for COVID is now they're having to lay people off in our school district and all sorts of things. So we had to fill out a survey they emailed to just let them know that, yes, we intend to attend the school again next year, so they can kind of get a head count. So it's almost like this dream also was helping you kind of balance or weigh that, okay, well, this is no longer happening, so now I have to adjust in this way. So it's like about an adjustment period, or you're finding ways to adjust. And we have this card here, the eight of cups on the back of the deck here. And that's normally a card about, going a new direction, walking away from something that's just done and over with. All these cups have spilled. And in the traditional depiction, it's like these cups are all stacked up, and either the person's decided to, I'll leave it as beautiful as I can, but I also need to walk away. But a lot of times with that 8 of cups in the traditional Rider-Waite deck, I will think, well, maybe they're going on that quest to return with that 9th cup. But for this, it's almost like our will somehow burn bridges with something in this dream. I don't know if there were actual stairs in the dreams. Yeah, a lot of eyes on the cards in this. Very, very great observation there, Amber. But it's like this person, it feels very purposeful though. This person has burned bridges, but not in this like negative, nasty kind of way, but they've just basically ensured that I'm ready to move on to something different. Oh, you are a teacher. Oh my goodness, that's so cool at the school example. So, let's just say this was about your career, if it is, but I don't know that it exactly is, but if it was, it doesn't mean you have to quit being a teacher, but just the way that you show up, or maybe the way that you teach, or your style is shifting, and you're not going back or returning to a way you once taught. You're doing it in a new and different and fun and more in alignment with your purpose kind of way. Look at that. Yeah. So this dream, in whatever was going on in the dream, this is the essence of what this dream is conveying to you. And we do have multiple generations here. Of course, we can read this as mother, daughter, grandmother, all like family generations, family line. But also, this is such a card about legacy, like what it is you're here to do and what people remember you for when you have passed on or when you've retired eventually and all these things. And also, I do know that you are yourself a grandma. So this could be, maybe some of the teaching you were doing in a school setting, you're now able to teach your grandkids, maybe not in the exact same way, but again, shifting of the energy to where you can, teach these children things that they maybe wouldn't learn in school, like like sewing and gardening. And I know there are different schools out there that you can learn these kind of things, but it's like you're passing on wisdom and knowledge that you're just going to benefit your own grandkids with the knowledge that you have to share in some way. And it's very emotionally fulfilling. She says, wow. All right, let's get one from the shamanic medicine cards. Anything else Jay McDonald needs to know about this dream? Any more insight? Greatness, turbulent trust. Sorry about the timer. I know it's annoying, but I'm doing this now so I can stay on track. Otherwise, we were getting like 20, 25-minute readings because I just keep going and going and going, and nothing stops me until I get back to the real world. Like, oh wow, we've been going at this a minute. But yeah, even if this dream had nothing to do with you being a grandma, your grandkids, your grandma, walking away from something, getting recognized or famous, or, just acknowledged for your gifts, your light, even if this dream had nothing to do with any of this, at the heart of what this dream is trying to convey to you, there is this sense of almost like taking your power back to utilize it in a way that is going to benefit you. And exactly how that plays out really is a great mystery. But this is about you trusting wherever you're being led, especially if it feels like it lights you up, go in that direction. And there is a lot of yellow here, not in every card, but specifically these 3 cards, we've got a lot of yellow going on. So solar plexus, stepping into your authority, your power, your self-esteem, your confidence. And even if you felt in the past not very confident about certain things, you're finding ways to be more confident. And this dream may have really highlighted for you ways that you're not feeling so confident. Or maybe it put completely over the top with that 6 of Wands or the Sun card. In the dream, you were confident and just showing you that you can be this in your waking life as well. Very cool. Very, very cool. All right. And then we have the North card on the back with solitude. So I don't know if there's any kind of stargazing you've been doing lately, or if this is just kind of a nod to maybe get out there and just put your eyes on the sky if it's possible for you. Yeah, illumination. And then look at all the stars in the tree here. Yeah, get out and look at the sky. I don't know why exactly that needs to happen. I don't know if maybe in your dream you saw something in the sky. I don't know exactly why that message is coming through kind of on the tail end of the reading here, but it came through, so I had to say it. But I love that. And of course, the bear, the North, they call it, Ursa Major, right? Ursa Major, that's the bear. North Star, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Spot on. Oh, I'm so glad. Yes, you are. Yeah, I love this. And medicine shield with protection. And it's interesting because we started the reading with that protective father figure, kind of paternal energy. Could be grandfather, could be father, could be uncle, something that you feel very protected by. And now I'm getting that chills on my shoulders again, but mostly on the left side. I felt it very slightly on the right, which we got that message in pile 2 of our pick a card at the beginning. If you missed that, feel free to watch that if you did miss that part. But if you already watched it, maybe just remembering what was uncovered in that feels almost like it's relevant to what you're asking here. So, all right, awesome. I'm so glad that resonated for you and was relevant. There we go. Relevated. I'm just making up words left and right over here. All right, so Amber, I think, was the next donation. Yes. Planning to get spirit fracture healing to be done with Raylene, but her cost was way beyond too much for me to. I noticed that. She really raised prices. Not to say that I, with my husband's money, not so much with my own, but with his money, I could totally afford it. But it just went so far beyond like what I would be willing to put out. I mean, I know. Her healing is powerful. It's potent, but at the same time, it's now starting to become out of reach for people who could really use it, financially speaking, which that's sad. And I know half of her session fees do go to help build that school in Peru, I think it is. But even still, it's kind of maybe pricing out people who could really benefit from her. Yeah, right? And it's like, I would love to do that, but $333, that's a lot of money. I know, I'm sure that what you're getting way outweighs how much you're paying. But it's almost like, okay, offer that. Yes, I absolutely agree. But also offer just the regular session that's just like a taste of what you could get. You know what I mean? Like, you could still offer a session that was more cost effective. Maybe you don't get as much, but it can at least, when people have, $60 or whatever they can throw at a session, they could do it, Yeah, it feels a little out of reach for a lot of people now. Which I get it. I get it as a business owner myself, but that's probably why my business is failing so bad. I refuse. I refuse to put my services so out of reach that your average person can't afford it. I can't. I won't. I get it though. I understand. I can see both sides. So it's a weird place to be. It's a weird place to be, isn't it? Yeah. All right. But let's tune in for Amber's question. I was planning to get spirit fracture healing to be done with Raylene. Cost was way beyond too much for me to afford. So I did the healing on my own to heal all the times my actual, true, organic, authentic inner spirit got fractured throughout all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions. Even healing my organic body at that very time and letting go of all the trauma my body and organs endured at that time. I also reclaimed all of those fragmented parts of me to come back to me and took them to my heart center. Since after that, I am feeling very lost, asking existential questions, just observing everything from a point of detachment. I do not wish doing things. Oh, yeah, okay. Don't wish doing things. And even painting seems like effort right now. Also, my cycles have been bonkers. Same. So many ladies are just saying cycles are just weird, either too long, too short. And yeah, my mom's like, well, maybe it's menopause. I'm like, I mean, yeah, I'm 42, but no, I'm not getting that vibe. I'm not getting that vibe at all for you, for me, for a couple other ladies I talked to, at all. It's not, there's something else going on here. But yeah, some did point toward menopause. Is all the above because of the healing I did? And did the healing actually happen? Or is this just exhaustion? Please, just some guidance. Yeah. Okay. So first things that are kind of flooding in before we set the timer. This does feel like, okay. So of course these are fractals of your spirit that were very heavily traumatized. So them coming back, even being cleansed, through the heart center and everything, they brought with them some of that pain, that heartache, so I would say, and I'm just saying this for future reference, because there's always more work. Always more work. It just maybe feels like you've maybe bit off a little more than you could chew as far as bringing back more than you could process or reintegrate for the time, if that makes sense. Because I know something that I do for myself personally, and you may want to do just in your own future healing sessions for yourself, is to kind of set that parameter that allow my physical body to kind of not go into, as they call, Herxheimer reaction, which is basically you're having detox symptoms because you healed too much too fast or something like this. Or You went in to get all your heavy metals, and now you've got chelation going on and da 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 da. Um, Especially if you've been through a lot of trauma, not only in this life, but all these other lifetimes where, you've had just the most horrendous things happen to you. And maybe you never got a proper burial in this life, or you were really mutilated in that life, and then you brought all that back in. I'm not saying you did anything wrong, because I've done this as well. And I did pay the price for about a month. I was feeling very off energetically, but um, I'm actually really glad. I know this sounds like, mean to almost say this, but I'm really glad you actually did get to experience this, because, everybody can talk to the blue in the face. Like, you don't want to do too much too fast, or, it can be a lot. We get it though. We get it. Once we've gone through it, we're like, okay, next time I'm going to just set something like, Raylene must set that intention when she does her sessions to, yes, allow the full amount of healing to take place, but allow this person to integrate or peel off as their physical and emotional and mental and spiritual and causal bodies can allow for. So say a session you did with her or me or yourself 3 months ago, maybe your body couldn't fully handle all of that at the time. So maybe once a week your body's like offloading a little more and integrating a little more as you go over 3 months worth of time, rather than all just in one fell swoop at one session. And that's something what I feel like within a month, things to me feel energetically for you, Amber, that they're going to be back in a good space, to where you're going to get that passion for painting back and things, hair falling out, losing hair like crazy. So hear me out. My mom has been diabetic for at least 15 years, type 2, but her blood sugars have just been absolutely crazy off the rails, so much so that they've given her a second type of diabetes medication to control the fact that the first medication just isn't doing it anymore. But in the whole meantime, my mom has like eaten better over the last year than she's ever eaten before. She's cut out almost all sugar and just all that stuff that would really spike it before. But her at one point was at like 339 blood sugar. That's insane. And she's doing everything right and all this. And it occurred to me, I'm like, Mom, you're on, I almost feel like so it's two things. So she almost like reversed her, I don't think you can cure it, but you can like reverse a type 2 if you're eating right and exercising and being all the healthy things. So much so that she doesn't need those medications, but the medications are keeping her diabetic. Does that make sense? So I told her that, and she's like, wow, that makes sense. But then I said, there's something they're doing with the frequencies that are messing with people's nervous systems, circulatory systems, reproductive, like all the systems are being effed with right now. Some sort of frequencies they're blasting or pumping or microwaving out there to all of us. And of course, every person's going to take these energies in through their physical body, because we have no choice but to do that. We can't just, unless we're somehow existing simultaneously in this dimension, but not completely, we're going to be affected by the bombardment of these frequencies and energies. So, especially if you have your phone on or near, or you sleep with your phone around you, that's something they're doing. It's like, I wished I had one of those, like radiation meter things, because there are times like I'll be holding my phone and like right now I'm fine. Even though it's plugged in, they say you don't want to even hold your phone or be on scrolling your phone when it's plugged in, because you're getting even more radiation. But even me holding it like this right now, I'm feeling a little weird pulse right here that tells me it's time to put it down, put it away. But there are times that I'm holding it and I'm like doing research on something, because that's pretty much all I do. Again, I'm gearing up to set the phone down and walk away for a month this summer. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And you're going to hold me accountable, you guys. You're going to do it. We're going to do it together. You don't have to, but keep me accountable. But there are times I'm just like on my phone, and the phone itself gets really hot. That's indication number one that it's really putting off some power, some radiation and whatever other frequencies stuff is going on. But it's almost like they're targeting certain areas, certain towers, certain phones, certain, even if you have like a smart meter on your house, they're really turning up the juice. So we're going from like a medium to a hard boil right now on the boil the frog scenario. And a lot of people are feeling it. A lot of people are losing their hair. A lot of people are lethargic all the time. A lot of people, if you look up the symptoms of like radiation poisoning, a lot of those symptoms that you've said here, cycles being off and losing hair, like all of this is like radiation poisoning 101. Organite around your electronics. That's really good. And shungite, black tourmaline, elite shungite if you can find it. Yeah, even just me, like just me talking about it, I feel targeted. But I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say because reasons. So if you can get so far as to even turn off your router at night, turn your Wi-Fi off, your router, close down all of your screens and what have you, you should notice things better. But I don't know if they're going to keep turning up the volume on these frequencies or if this is just like a test run for something they're doing. But I'm noticing, and what's coming to me right now, yes, we're still getting specifically to your question, Amber, but this to me feels like a global issue right now, not just even in the US. Oh, he works till late at night. Yeah, that's hard to be able to work online when you don't have internet. So yeah, I get it. But these frequencies are also making people act a fool out there. People are basically like mind control victims going and causing all this chaos and they don't even know that they did anything. It's kind of like when when the killer Jeffrey Dahmer was arrested, he's like, but I didn't do anything. I don't even remember doing this or that. But he's got all this, evidence of his crimes in his refrigerator and he's been eating the things and like, but he doesn't remember, like, and he, like, if you actually tune in, like, he legit was like under some sort of spell or mind control. But he swears by AI. But yeah, there's just do your due diligence where whoever's listening. If you're feeling a certain type of way, and headaches are a big part of this, a big part. I've been walking. I used to walk and listen to an audiobook or a podcast or a YouTube video that I didn't have to watch. I could just put my phone in my pocket and walk. I can't even do that right now. Probably the last 2 weeks, I just have to leave my phone in the car in my bag, which kind of weird because that's what usually I use to count my steps. So I'm at this point now where I'm just intuitively getting my steps in rather than actually having my phone on me all the time. Because I've known it's not good to have your phone on you, A, but B, it's like to track it. It's almost like this like obsession that I've gained. Like, oh, I gotta, like, even to walk upstairs to like put the bedding back on my bed from the dryer, I'll grab my phone so I can track my steps. Like that's not good. I mean, I obviously still got the steps. They don't have to be counted on some algorithm on my phone that's going to keep track. But, I've kind of put myself into this by almost making it like a contest for myself every day that I got to get my 12,200 steps every day. And I'd go some days way above that. Other days I'd be right under it, but I would try to get there. And now I'm just like, okay, I'm going to leave my phone in and get my damn steps in anyway. I don't need to bring my phone with me. Yeah, right. Why am I so... But so many people I've noticed are just so... Like, I was just at the baseball because I'm being more cautious and conscientious about having my phone on me or even just checking it, especially like out in public. And I get my little chair set up and my blanket at the baseball game. This was last Wednesday. And I look around and there's probably 40 people. I'm talking like parents, grandparents, little kids running around. The only people who weren't on a phone were the little kids running around. And we're talking like 3 and under, like real little kids. The like older kids, teenagers, adults. This is what you saw. And I get it. It was before the game started, so they were bored, But this is what a lot of people do when they're bored. Scroll. Oh, let me check my email real quick. I do it too. But just because I was more aware of my own doing it, it became so clear that everybody's doing it. It's not just me that has this addiction or this problem. It's everywhere. It's everybody. And that's something I would do, like when I go to like, a dentist appointment or whatever. I would always bring a book because I don't want to be on my phone when I'm out and about. Because you think of it, you almost like get in this zone where you maybe don't even hear your name called because you're like almost like under a spell or something. But I don't know. There's something about it, especially lately. It feels like that pull is even stronger. So what do? Miss Rebel over here. I'm like, no, I'm going to put my phone down and leave it and go on my walk anyway. And I encourage you to do the same, everybody. All right, let's fully actually get into Amber's question for her personally, because we kind of did a collective reading about why some of these symptoms are coming up for many of us. So for Amber's actual question, now that we've prefaced it with what we got, let's see how this affected her, bringing all this back, and we'll just see first how this has affected you for the time being. How has bringing all of these fractals back? Okay, wow. And I didn't realize, I just picked it up and started. So you're feeling lethargic. You're feeling drained of energy, rather than bringing those fractals back should make a person feel even more empowered. But when those fractals are themselves very traumatized and damaged, it's very interesting. I'm seeing this as something you can do is, because you've already called them back, they're there, they're existing, they're doing their thing. What I would do is when we're done here, or whenever feels good, in some sort of meditative state that's calm, you're not going to be bothered, that you can really get in the meditative or shamanic journeying zone, and go in energetically and get all of those parts of you rounded up. Yes, keep them in your energy field, but put them almost in this, like, with the power of your true spirit, in some sort of spiritual quarantine. This is what this is what I'm really seeing, and I've never gotten that for my own whatever, and it would have been nice to know that when I did something similar and called back so much that I was just in a major detox, a major detox symptoms for like 2 weeks, and I felt like crap, had no motivation to do anything. But yeah, it's integrating. But yeah, just call in your true spirit to quarantine all those pieces and parts to get healing right from the source, meaning your own spirit. Your spirit will be acting not only as the quarantine itself, but almost like a womb energy, a womb space for all of these unhealed, traumatized, fractal parts of you to get that motherly nurturing. And I got chills. So yes, that motherly nurturing healing from your true spirit. And when they're ready to be born again as pure and, because here's the thing, it's not that these are, the heart and core of these fractals of you are pure and innocent and untainted. It's just all the trauma that's happened. It almost just feels like somebody, what I'm seeing in my mind's eye is this dirty little child with ripped clothing and their hair's falling out in chunks, and maybe they got scratches and, like, their eyes are all crusty and they've got a runny nose. But you get that child in, that neglected child or that hurt, traumatized child, you get them in a bath, you clean their cuts and you dress their wounds, and you shampoo their hair and you comb their hair and you pull out the rest of the patchiness. You cut their hair in a decent little haircut. And then a year later, this child is happy and free and running and dressed nice and clean and has beautiful long flowing hair again. That's what I'm seeing for these soul fractals. So it's not that these pieces and parts of you were damaged so much that they're just damaged goods forever. No, it takes a bit of time. Yeah, wow. And then look at the back of the deck, the Emperor. Like family tree vibes, but to me, this family tree is representative of you and your parts, all the lifetimes you've lived, the roots, the branches, they're all connected. And those parts of you that felt like they were in the underworld, so to speak, allow them that incubation time of almost like that womb energy of still being buried beneath the ground, but instead of being lost and cast off and buried and forgotten because we've damaged you, we've hurt you, and now you're there, you're nurturing them. Wow. Be driving now, but have to get coffee. By the way, day before yesterday, I literally talked to a dove for dirtying my patio after making a nest there. I know this is out of context. Oh, that's funny. Not funny that you had to clean up the mess, but funny that the dove's just like, well, this looks like a good spot. That's cute. Let's just see. I know we're kind of at the end of the time here, but I forgot to set the timer, so I'm just winging it at this point. But let's just see anything else Amber can do with this just out of whack energy. Okay, yeah, you're going to overcome it. And again, I see within a month, and I know right now that coming off the 3 weeks to a month you just had with, all that energy in your house that you were just not happy about, this is going to feel like a while, but it's actually going to be helpful to reintegrate those parts and just set that intention that these parts will start to reintegrate as they're ready. You don't have to go back and physically pick through the mess of it or the muck of it and get them back into, operation. So yeah, you may have days and times where you're feeling really low or why is this happening, but kind of doing the due diligence of, energetically protecting yourself from any frequencies that are being blasted through. Right as I said, I got a huge pain right through the middle of my, whatever this part's called, on the left side. Wow. That's interesting analogy for what we were talking about, how, that decay and rotting and trauma that you were put through and then, buried or tossed aside, cast aside in those lifetimes where you were, hurt and forgotten and left for dead and thrown and cast off. But look at the beauty that can grow even from that. Wow. Yeah. So it's going to feel, and I think you felt the worst of what's there. It's just now you're going to start to recover your, but again, asking your true spirit, you're going to recover your energy levels. You're going to recover, your hair will start growing back and everything, but, just doing what you can to protect yourself, keeping black tourmaline or shungite on you in a pocket as jewelry. Organite is another good one. And that's just these different crystals and copper in resin. And there's probably other ways, but those are the ones that I have are like a crystal pyramid. And then there's like a copper coil in the middle at the peak of the pyramid. And that helps, it really helps with these negative energies, positive ions that these frequencies give off, because positive ions are not good. Negative ions, that's what nature gives off. You want negative ions. They create positivity, but positive ions create negativity. All right, closing statement for Amber. Anything else she needs to know that or be aware of that we have not uncovered yet? Yeah, it's just a stressful time, but again, pulling out those pieces of you that you've called back to really make you feel not so great, putting them in quarantine with your true spirit, kind of leading the charge on that, and putting your true spirit in charge of realigning, recalibrating, reintegrating these parts of yourself when the time is right. But in the meantime, that your true spirit is, allowing this safe space for the healing of these fractals. And then you can start to integrate them, allow your true spirit to reintegrate them into your human field when the time is right. And you may even feel an instant just weight lifted or burden like lifted off your shoulders just by putting these pieces and fractals into quarantine. But of course, it's not overnight that your hair is going to start growing back and your cycle is going to get completely in alignment. Usually these things can take a bit of time. And that's where you'll see the time. But as far as just feeling this blah about life, almost detached, yes, it can be good, but yes, it can also be bad, because part of the human experience is to feel things. And if we feel so detached, even from our own emotions, that's not a fun place to be. It feels very void-like without the healingness of the void. And the void, it can be a very interesting and scary place because there's just nothing. There's no sound. There's no pictures. There's no nothing. Nothing. It's just nothing. But yeah, I can see that it's definitely causing you a lot of stress, Amber, but at the same time, you calling in that quarantine and your true spirit to kind of take the lead on that. And then, of course, trusting your intuition for anything else that's come up for you during this reading, or if you watch it back, or even just asking your true spirit right now, anything else you can do to help ease these symptoms. Oh, on your birthday, and that makes so much sense. That's about a month from now. Wow, that is powerful. Yeah. So Amber, I would just say, you're already kind of halfway there, but you feel stuck or trapped or like you totally messed up, but you didn't. It's just the illusion of, obviously you're feeling a certain type of way because you called all this back and now you feel like you're dealing with the onslaught of trauma just coming into your field. But again, calling your true spirit in can really help you benefit. All right, anything else? Yeah. Medicine shield with protection. So have your spirit put you in this protective bubble from any further coming in and causing any kind of chaos. Will definitely benefit. And then on the back of the deck, we have medicine mask with authenticity. And of course, the medicine mask is what those like doctors of the day would put on so they didn't get the plague, plague doctors. Really creepy looking masks, right? So yeah, just kind of becoming your own plague doctor by quarantining those parts that are almost acting as the plague for you. Yeah. And then 4-legged endurance. Yeah. So you're going to be able to get through this. The endurance is about just sticking with it, sticking to it, and just keep going. Of course, resting is a big part of the endurance part of this, of keep going. When you're feeling that call to rest, rest. When you're feeling the need to fast, fast. When you're feeling the need to load up on certain nutrients, go that route. And also drink a crap ton of water. Everybody out there, when they're blasting us with these frequencies, the best thing you can do for yourself is to keep drinking water and stay hydrated. Not overhydrate to where you're ending up in the hospital, but just, use your intuition about it. Because when you're dehydrated, these frequencies, and this is not something I've read, it's just something I've experienced. Of course, when a normal person gets dehydrated, they get a headache anyway. But when you've got these frequencies coming at you, bro, you want to be hydrated, because we're so much water, right? But these frequencies will move through our water, but we want to make sure we're hydrated enough. And we can even set the intentions that these frequencies just move right through and they don't hurt you. But then there are those people out there, it's like these frequencies scramble people's cells. They basically take like a lot of like precancerous cells, or kind of cells that are kind of mutated in the body, and they make them go wreak havoc. So if you can be doing your own detoxing, your own purging, cleansing, parasite cleanses, juice cleanses, liver cleanses, colon cleanse, all the cleanses, get your physical vessel in great alignment. Be drinking good water, as good as we can find in this realm anyway. And the best nutrition you can find, and even just setting that intention every day that your true spirit is coming in to nourish you. Because the food around here ain't doing it anymore, sis. Not the way it used to. Even those quote unquote healthy organic foods are still sprayed with all the stuff they're spraying in the skies, and the water that's so inundated with even pharmaceuticals and stuff. Like, I probably already spoke too much truth, but I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. So it's up to us to not only do what we can do that's best for our physical body, but also be calling in our spirit to kind of pick up the slack that is very prevalent. Yeah, I'm so thirsty. And they say when you're thirsty, you're already dehydrated. And I'm like, but I've already drank 2 of these a day, and it's not even noon. But it's basically that we could just drink and drink and drink, because the water is not quenching the thirst anymore, because there's so many factors into either it's not your best water, or your body's really needs a massive detox, and then your body can integrate that hydration better. So much going on out there that we can't even wrap our heads around. I mean, because that's your average Joe that doesn't really know about all these conspiracy theories. They'll be like, well, why would they do that? I mean, I can understand, if a corporation was like dumping chemicals in a thing because it saves money from them having to properly dispose of them. But like, why would the government or the this or the that want to hurt and poison everybody? The answers are out there. The answers are very clear. And another thing I picked up on this weekend is it's not only that they're looking to degrade everything going on with the human race and all sorts of animals and plant life. Not only that, but they're like, why specifically this different geo, and then the word engineering that they're doing in spraying in the skies and doing it. It's not just for certain. I mean, they don't want to completely eviscerate and annihilate everything, because then their food source is gone. So that's not the only reason they're doing all that they're doing that feels like an attack from all angles to the human body. The reason they're doing this is because there are certain other, let's just call them, for lack of a better word, races or beings that maybe have literally gone underground for the past who knows how many hundreds or thousands of years, that are coming back up to the surface. Let's just leave it at that. that this atmosphere as it was not conducive for those beings to be able to be out and about in this realm, as it were. But now they're completely degrading all of nature. And again, it's like a two-way street. It's like double benefit for them anyway. Not so much for us, but just saying. I have no proof, but it was just a feeling that occurred to me. Like there's something from way back, and think way back. Everything was much bigger and taller. And then they sucked all the, oxygen out of the atmosphere and brought the silicone-based world that we had, now carbon-based world, everything shrunk down. But certain entities, beings, whatever we want to call them, silicone-based, couldn't hack it in here, or they would also lose a lot of their powers and their control. Had to kind of literally go underground, maybe. And I don't know if underground is literal or more frequency, like in slightly different dimension. I don't know. I haven't tuned in enough to really feel into it for myself. So yeah, I'm not sure exactly. But let's get to our giveaway and our drawing, because I probably do have to wrap this up and get some lunch before I have to start the afternoon into the evening. Go, 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 go. Sports. And we have, both boys have sports pictures tonight, baseball pictures. And then Wrigley's baseball game, and Boston also has a band concert. The Airmen of Note, which is, I think, a military, is it the Navy band, Army band? I don't know. One of the military bands, which his teacher says is one of the best, if not the best, jazz band in the world. And my son is a percussionist, and he is in the jazz band before school. And so I get to maybe possibly miss out on baseball tonight. Not baseball pictures, but baseball. To actually enjoy a concert. A jazz band concert. I'll take it. All right. So we're going to, I don't know why I opened this and was doing that. We're not doing that yet. Okay, giveaway. So if you're new here and you don't know how the giveaway works, all you have to do is figure out, in whatever way you do, what tarot card I just pulled from the deck. Ooh, I love it. I really love it. And Linda, you were here earlier and then I didn't see you again. But so Brandy Lynn won the giveaway on Wednesday last week. And she just told me that she wanted to donate it back and for me to pull a name to see who would win it. And your name was pulled, Linda. So you won last Wednesday's giveaway by way of Brandy Lynn. So you have a 1-card pull coming for you as well. All right. So let's see if anyone's gotten it. Ooh, someone got it, but let me see if someone got it before that. The sun. It is the sun. And a B degree. It looks like you have gotten it first. Correct me if I'm wrong, though, because I've been known to jump the gun and say someone got it when someone else actually got it before them. But I always will. If I call your name out as a winner, you will not be booted because someone else got it. That's my bad, not yours. So, Brianna, the first one I can see, the sun. All right. Yes, it was her. All right. Well, you've won yourself a reading. So go ahead and post a question. We're going to get right into it for you. And everybody who's here, including Brianna, put a 999 in the chat. And I will put your name in here, and then we're going to draw a new name for today's drawing winner. All right, so I'm going to have to cut some new strips here. But Linda H. And in fact, Linda, I'm just going to put your name back in. So then I won't have to toss it. We'll just repurpose. And we know it's a lucky paper because it's already been drawn once, so it might be lucky going back in, huh? All right, Amber 9 in. And I'm going to show you guys the names before I drop them back in, just so we can confirm they're put back in. Sun Cease, let's get you on here. And Brandy Lynn. Cut some new names. Oh, I have one more strip here. Banana Anna S. Yes, definitely need to cut some new strips. like to cut the sticky part off. Make it fair for everybody to not have a sticky paper. All right. And cut a couple of these in half. I did not measure that very well. Oh well, whatever. It is what it is at this point. You can see how little I got this one. So little. Oh well. Don't they say big things come in small packages? Is that how that goes? Okay. Marlene! And anyone else? Last call. So we got Linda, Amber, Sunseas. Yeah, I got everybody here. So anyone else? Last call. Put a 999 to get your name in the drawing. I see 9 people here. I don't think we have 9 999s, but we have Brandy Lynn going in. Brandy Lynn going in. We've got Marlene. We've got Linda H, the one we already drew, so we know it's a good one. We know it's lucky. We've got Banana Anna S going in. We've got Amber 9 in. And last but not least, we've got Sunseas going into the pouch. Okay, here we go. We're going to really stir it up. Little darling, stir it up. And we have a winner, which is, drum roll please, Kashfi. And there's only one of her in here. I think just one time we put her name in here. And I think it was last Wednesday. Wow, so she won. Wow. How lucky. Oh my goodness. And we know there's only one of her name in there. Unless I'm missing a time. Oh, Amber A, let's get you in here. We just drew, but let's get your name in here. That's so cool. All right, there's my pen. So Amber A, let's get you in here. And of course, if anyone else puts a 999 before we leave, I will always honor that through the end of the live stream. Amber A, going in. Yeah, I literally just drew just now. Kashfi, you missed it by a hair, just one hair. I don't know if we're talking about a hair on a head or a rabbit hair. You missed it by a hair. I never know what they mean when they say that expression. Is it a hair like a rabbit or a hair like on your head? All right. So Kashfi won. So our first winner was Brianna. So Mama Monica question. What is Mama Monica? And she said go to Soul Trees. So we're going. Tuning into Mama Monica's true spirit. Mama Monica's true spirit. What does she want to tell her daughter? Brianna, we have illusion. So there's something you're finally seeing clarity on. Something that was once an illusion. Very cloudy, very foggy, very smoky here. Specifically regarding what? What is this illusion that is now being lifted? Perception. And I was just going to say, you're going to be able to see more. Not just clairvoyantly, but like with your physical, actual eyes, you're going to be seeing beyond the veil. And I was about to say that because this is the card that won you the reading, and this is a light body. And getting light codes, I'm hearing light codes from the sun. There's some light codes you're getting from the sun. You know, whether we want to argue or not that the sun that we have now is a simulator and it's not the same sun we had, you know, when we were kids. And I wonder. But tuning into the spirit of the true sun of this realm, of the original blueprint of this planet, you can still get those light codes. But there's something shifting about your perception leading up to the next full moon. And I know we just had a full moon, but between now and then, it's like the fog is lifting and you're finally able to see the light on something. And it's not just on something that you've always wondered or were curious about, or, you know, did so-and-so tell me the truth? No, this feels very next level spiritual. Like, again, literally being able to see things beyond just the visible light spectrum that your average person is seeing. Oh, and the full moon is on your birthday. Well, level up in more ways than one. Solar return is able for you to perceive on the full moon. I see that big full moon back there. Through the illusion, seeing beyond the veil. Now let's get some additional guidance. We're going to go to the Herb Crafter's Tarot. Anything else Brianna needs to know about what it is she's going to actually be able to see? 3 of Fire, 3 of Wands, Calendula. So this is abundance coming in, or ways of knowing like what your next directions are for abundance to start coming in, because this is your ships coming in card, as I like to call it. And then we have the 8 of Fire, very quickly, very purpose-led, purpose-driven. And this is also news, good news coming in. There might even be, this is interesting, there may even be an offer coming in for some reason or for something, and it sounds too good to be true, because it is. But because you have this like next level spiritual heightened sense, you're going to be able to see through it. If it's a scam call or an email, or even someone telling you, hey, I heard about this one thing, and I just heard like weight loss supplements. So I don't know if there's someone in your life that's talking about like losing weight and found like a really quick fix way to lose weight, and you're like able to see through it. Very interesting, random, but yet very specific message coming through. But it doesn't feel like you're trying to lose weight. It just feels like someone's saying something about some weight loss drug or miracle weight loss pill. I don't know. Yeah, 2 of Fire. So plans that you have, you're going to be able to see through any illusion or to the truth of, will this work for me? Will this not work for me? And actually make certain things work and be able to see through any illusions, meaning any, quick fixes or miracle drugs. You're going to be able to see that, nah, that's not real. That won't happen. And again, you might even be giving this advice to other people. Very interesting. Could even be a family member. Yeah, but there's this element of creativity, and I just saw this. It almost looks like a whale, like a child cartoonish version of a whale, like very big body and tiny little tail here. Very cool. But yeah, so there's this really big creative life force type energy that's going to be coming in between now and the next full moon, or your next solar return, as we now know. That's so cool. Much love to you, Brianna. I hope that resonated for you. All right. So, Kashvi, let's get Kashvi's message. And I'm going to just triple check we're still caught up on donations, which I think we are. Yes. Oh, weird. So I'm subscribed to Ask a Prepper. I think it's a website, but they send like ways you can like return to using the land and stuff. But they said, swollen feet and ankles, this might help. Watch now. And most of the time I just delete, unless their subject catches my eye, I usually just delete those. Yes, Linda's reading. Yes. I was just double checking that we didn't have any other donations. But Linda, go ahead and post a question. We're going to get right into it for you. Yeah, we're all caught up on donations. Apparently my straw became detached in the inside of my cup. Couldn't get any water. But yes, everybody, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate right now. Yes, and we can do, I meant to do Kashvi and then Linda. So, because Kashvi's is only, like, it's the quicker read. All right, what does she need to know? So this is for Kashvi, the Emperor, something with her father and the father's family. But I can timestamp. We're at 153.06-ish. 153.06. And then we'll get into Linda's reading too. Okay, so something with the father's family, the roots from the father's side. Sure, yeah. A lot of masculine energy here with the Emperor and 2 kings. But she's overcoming something. So some energies, or, maybe something that was said to her while your in-laws were here about little girls should be seen and not heard, or little girls should act this way, not this way. Or if she, maybe even you, were reprimanded for ways that Kashvi's just a bright light and just, not given an F. But let me see. Yeah, I want to get to her actual part of the reading that she can watch and benefit from. All right, for Kashvi. Yeah, anything that felt like mean words directed at you or ridiculed when your grandparents were around, or your other family members were around. You're going to be able to heal from that because I see some tears coming down. So something that was said to you, Kashvi, might have felt really mean or like they shouldn't have been so mean. Yeah, like you're like showing up in your power, which is really good, because you're roaring like a lion on the inside, and you're going to be doing some things that maybe they don't agree with, but that's not up to them because you are meant to work hard at the things that bring you happiness, and that may look completely different than what these adults are saying you should do, or you should act like this or be this or do that. But you're deciding to work on the things that make you happy, that make you feel fulfilled. And you're not, going to just be happy with following what they say to do. Yeah, she is a lion, but there's some major victory here in overcoming. So that's really powerful. I love that for Kashvi. So cool. So strange. I took a stand today for her in front of my in-laws. Oh, one of her dad's uncles said that she will be a failure. Well, nope. He's projecting onto her for whatever reason. And it's always the little kids. Like, why do these grown men have to project their insecurities onto little kids? Like, why? It's so rude. So unneeded. You're so welcome. Absolutely. All right. Get my cards all put back in order here. And then Linda. So my mom passed this week. Oh, that's right. It's her anniversary week of her passing. Does she have a message for me or my family? Yes. Let's tune in to Linda's mom's true spirit. For a message for Linda and her family. Two of Pentacles. There might be a decision that you're weighing. Do I do this? Do I do that? Or someone in the family. There's someone in the family that's trying to make a choice. And this doesn't just feel like blue shirt or red shirt today. No, this is like maybe investing money, or it's going to cost money to do either this or that. Could even be like a travel thing, deciding where you're going. But I love that in both of these cards, the people have their eyes closed and they look serene. So it's almost like maybe this could be potentially a anxiety-inducing decision, but by being in a calm and almost just serene state, you'll get your best answer. So let's see, anything else Linda's mom wants her or the family to know? Her true spirit. What's this one? Ace of Cups, emotional fulfillment, but also maybe the birth of a child in the family. This, of course, could be, her grandkids or great-grandkids. I don't see this as your son or anything, Linda, but maybe like extended family, like a brother or sister's child is either they are going to be pregnant soon or they have just recently had a child within like the last year. And this is just indicating, or even since your mom passed, that your mom still keeps up with what's going on and cares and, sees it as relevant to her life. Yeah. So 5 of Pentacles. So there is this feeling, and I really do feel this is like Dean's energy. Just him feeling almost like tossed around. And that's an energy you can get with the 2 of Pentacles. It's like, do we shuffle you here? Do we shuffle you there? So this might even be like anxiety or stress that was caused because of, Dean's living situation and just other things Dean has going on. Might have caused a bit of conflict, chaos, specifically between you and a sister at some point. Which, if I'm remembering back, there's been, certain, like you were feeling, like you were pulling most of the weight, or, there's just like, well, I did this and you didn't do anything. Well, over here I did this and you didn't do anything. Just kind of some of that. That doesn't have to be the case now because I'm feeling this is more of a past energy, but, it's still just the back and forth of, should we do this? Should we do that? And of course, your mom. And even in those moments where you feel like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? Literally connecting to your mom's true spirit to get your answer, to be able to move forward in a way that's beneficial for everybody. Yeah, this is beneficial for everybody. And that will help your brother and you and your sister all feel like, okay, I'm coming out on top here. This feels good. Not in an ego way, but just in a, because the King of Cups is about balance, having balanced emotions. So no one's really excited, but also no one's really mad or yelling or feeling sad. Like everyone's like, okay, yeah, we got this. Figure it out. And everybody feels balance. Like no one's winning, no one's losing. It's just balance. All right. Any additional messages for Linda before we close out from her mom? Yeah. Everybody's celebrating like, okay, we finally figured it out. Yay. Now we can rest easy and just that sigh of relief. Celebrate with a cold drink, you know. Everybody's feeling good. Not so much fighting and bickering anymore, but just like a sigh of relief. We figured it out. Now we can kind of go back to our own lives and not worry so much about it. And she's definitely there to help balance things out. But a lot of times, you know, much like other, you know, it's always the good spirits that can't invade our free will, and they don't try to. But it's these nefarious spirits that'll either trick us into using our free will or just completely override our free will to do whatever it is by pretending to be someone they're not usually. But yeah, your mom won't just step in and do things unless she feels she has to. But for the most part, she wants to be asked permission to kind of pull her strings or do this or do that. And you can talk to her either in your head or out loud to make things happen. And this fell to the bottom. So she can make things happen on the turn of a hat, like really quickly. If she needs to get in there and get things done, she can make things happen. She can make certain paperwork appear or disappear, or, you know, emails go through or not go through. Like, she's your person. If you need some communication to either go through or not, she can make things happen in a big way. All right, Linda, I hope that resonated for you. Yeah. 7 of Wands on the back. So it's just almost feeling like that adversarial energy that's dying down. So it's like we're all on the same team. We just got to remember we're all on the same team here. Yes. And then a new way forward. So I love that. And then the Judgment, being able to utilize your extra sensory abilities to make things happen. Wow. Yeah, that's really powerful. So your mom's definitely ready and willing to help out behind the scenes, even since she has passed away. She's available and she's ready and she's happy to help. Just call on her when you need her and she'll be there to help. It may not look overt, like over the top ways of help, but there's subtle little nudges. You know, just how entities can work through our thoughts, so can our loved ones, and they can also work through other people's thoughts. Like if someone's on the fence, you know, going back to that Two of Pentacles for you know, a big decision to be made, you know, getting Dean in a ground level place at this place you're looking at or something. Your mom might get into this guy's thought like, let's just give it to him. He needs it. We'll figure something else out for all these other people. Dean needs our help. So they can work that way too. Thank you, Resonates. And again, yes, thank you so much to Brandy Lynn for donating that. And Amber, thank you for the message. Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, losing your parent is not easy. Yeah, she lost hers in 2018. Is grieving at different levels. Yeah, it's hard. I've never lost a parent, but I've lost a lot of people in my life that were very close to me that I'm still like, how could I survive losing this person? But you do. You continue on, and the grief will just wash over you. You know, it's been almost 10 years, well, 8 years since my best friend passed away, and I still will just get these random washes of grief. And then there will be like a full year I'm just doing fine about it. But then just this grief comes in and I'm down and out for a while again. It's just so weird how grief works. Yeah. All right, you guys. Well, I think I'm caught up. Just correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I'm definitely caught up on all the donations, and I think I've gotten all the giveaways and drawings and all that taken care of today. So, all right. Well, I'm going to go have some lunch and just kind of hang out until I have to be go mode for the rest of the evening. So you all have a lovely day, and I will be back here. Fingers crossed everything goes good with the headaches and just feeling really tired. That I'll be here most likely on Friday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time, back here on this channel for yet another fun-filled, hopefully for you. It was always fun-filled for me, but hopefully for you, fun live stream. So yeah, share your new work. Send it over, and I'll share it with everybody. Oh, thank you so much, Linda. You enjoy your day as well. Yeah, we'll let her text that over and send it, and then we'll show you real quick. Take a drink of water. Oh yeah, we got to do this. I don't like having to drink it that way because this little thing makes so much noise. All right, here it came through. All these are magnets for a fridge. Cool. So let's zoom in. Ooh, those are so pretty. Oh my gosh. Love the colors. 3 inches. Also, they're like 3-inch little magnets for your fridge. Let me turn up the saturation or the light on my phone. Oh my gosh, aren't those so pretty? I don't even know if the colors are doing it justice here on the screen, but oh, so pretty. 1, 2, and 3. So pretty. And like a 3-inch magnet, this would be like this big, like just, but look at the detail. Oh my goodness. I could never. We had to paint rocks for one of the things that we did at the reunion. I had to paint rocks for our family members that have passed away, or even just like in general, like my sister made a rock that said Montana and like good vibes and stuff. And because it had been so long, and these rocks, mind you, we just picked them out of my Aunt Margie's driveway pretty much. But my Aunt Kathy, we found this really big rock for her, and she wanted to do something for my Uncle Jim, who passed away in October. And the rock was dirty, and I had nothing to look at as a visual, and we had to use paint pens, and they were really thick. Some of them, the tips of them were thick, and just didn't want to write very well. So I was not happy because my Aunt Kathy, she's like, I'm not artistic, I can't do this. And I'm like, well, I'll do it. Now comparing this to Amber, this is just laughable, but it says Jim with like natural elements. So like we got flowers, and then the fish. The fish did not turn out because I was using really thick paint pens and very rough surface. Like I know I'm just throwing all the excuses out, but we got some antlers up here, a little river, some wheat because he worked for this place called Walter Implements. So they had like big like combine harvesters and stuff for wheat. More of a horn over here and some flowers. But yeah, I was kind of embarrassed about that. And then this one, my mom did the wording and I did the bird. Oops. I know what I'll do. I'll have to rotate this. Edit. So I drew and painted the bird on the one for my grandma, for my mom. So I'll just show you that real quick. Ooh. The hummingbird. But again, paint pens, and there was like hardly any contrast, so I had to just put like a black shadow behind it and kind of outline it with black. I know, we all have some artists inside of us, right? But yeah, my Aunt Kathy, fun fact, my Aunt Kathy, who the rock was for her husband Jim, she won in the gift exchange. She won my candles. And it was funny because I showed them to her before and she's like, that's the one I'm going for. And she did. She went right for it when we had to pick a bag out of the pile. And she went like this. So the one that had the lid on it, let's just say this is it. This is the lid. She held it up like, oh, it's a candle. And then the one that was in the cup that had like I was calling it like party in the springtime or something. She didn't even show the top of it. She's like, it's a candle, because she didn't want anyone to steal her gift. I'm like, I saw how you basically pulled it out like it's a candle, and then just stuffed it back in the bag because you didn't want anyone to steal it from you. Because we were allowed one steal because it was like a white elephant gift exchange. So you just basically brought a gift for a female. That was your under $15, which of course my materials were probably under 15, but my work and all that were not. But she was like so excited to get that. I was happy she got it. But I told her, hey, if for some reason, Aunt Kathy, you don't end up with the candles, I'll make you some candles and I'll mail them to you. How's that sound? All right, you guys, I'm going to go. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks again so much for all those likes, comments, shares, subscribes, donations, and all the things. And I hope to see you guys right back here at Harmony Porter Tarot Live on Friday. See you then. Bye.